Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Keith and I'm sure glad you stopped by today. In today's video, I invite you to come along with me as we grill up some freshly made hamburgers on our Char-Griller charcoal grill. Man, I'm gonna take you through this entire process from start to finish, and I'm confident if you watch this video and you follow the steps we're gonna lay out today, you're gonna be able to make some burgers that look like these, that are juicy, moist, and have that smoky flavor. So if that sounds good to you, let's dive in. Before we get into today's video, just wanted to give a huge thank you to our channel members. Channel memberships are a great way to further support the channel, get additional perks, and access to more exclusive content. If you'd like to learn more about our channel memberships, please see the link in the description below. We're going with our standard 2 chimney starters for today's grilling session. I'll be using Kingsford Original Charcoal Briquettes. If you need some additional help with using chimney starters, I'll drop a card up above and leave a link down in the description below to a video that's dedicated to showing you how to use chimney starters. Here's a rundown of the seasonings we'll be using today. Some Worcestershire sauce, some Lowry seasoned salt, some black pepper, onion powder, and some garlic powder. First thing we're gonna do is get our ground beef seasoned. I'm using 5 pounds of ground beef today, which should give us about 16 nice sized burgers. So keep that in mind, and you might have to adjust the recipe based on how many burgers you're preparing. When it comes to selecting ground beef for burgers, I like using the 75-25 ground beef blend. I'll tell you more a bit later about why I like using this specific blend when grilling burgers. Next, let's go ahead and add our seasonings to the ground beef. First, we're gonna add about 3 tablespoons of Dub sauce. Next, we're gonna add our dry seasonings. 3 teaspoons of Lowry seasoned salt, 2.5 teaspoons garlic powder, 2.5 teaspoons onion powder, and 2.5 teaspoons of black pepper. As I add my individual seasonings, I'm gonna lightly mix the ground beef to make sure all the seasonings get mixed in well. Be careful at this point not to overwork or overmix your ground beef. This could lead to a tough, dense texture, making our burgers less juicy and less tender. So just mix the ground beef just enough to evenly incorporate all the seasonings. With our ground beef and seasonings mixed, we're going to form our patties. I really appreciate my daughter Courtney for helping me out here. Courtney's going to form our patties for us today. The same rules apply though here, just like mixing. Don't overwork the patties and pat them too much. Just handle them enough to form your desired sized patties. After forming the patties, we're going to make a small dimple or indentation in the center of each patty. This is going to help prevent the burger from puffing up while cooking, ensuring we get a flat and even patty. Now that we have all our patties ready to go, let me show you what we're gonna do next. Something I absolutely love on my grilled burgers is some sauteed onions and mushrooms. So let's work on that right now. Let's slice up a couple of onions and add some canned sliced mushrooms to a foil pack. And before closing the foil pack, I'm gonna add some low sodium Dale sauce and some butter as well. As we close our foil pack, let's double wrap it to ensure we don't have any moisture escape while we have this on the grill. For today's grilling session, I'm going with my standard vent configuration. We'll set the intake vent to be wide open, and we'll set the exhaust stack to be set to about halfway. If we need to make any adjustments, we'll make them to the exhaust stack. But honestly, I very seldom make any adjustments at all to my vents. Through a lot of trial and error, I found that my grill drafts and performs the best with this vent configuration. So I just like leaving this alone. And if we need to make any adjustments for the sake of temperature, I'll make these to either the meat placement and fuel source. If you want more details on my philosophy for maintaining temperature on a charcoal grill, I'll drop a card here to a video for you to check out. Our coals are ready, so let's go ahead and get our grill set up. For today's grilling session, we'll be using the direct grilling technique. That means we're going to spread our coals evenly across our entire grill, and we'll be cooking our food directly over the coals. In my experience, the direct method is going to give you the most intense, smoky charcoal flavor on your food as compared to other grilling techniques. However, since we're grilling directly over the coals, we're going to have to pay close close attention to our grill so that we don't overchar and burn our food. After getting our coals on the grill and letting it reach a temperature of ideally 500 degrees Fahrenheit, we're now ready to clean our grates. I'm going to use my grill brush to clean my grates. Make sure you use a quality grill brush. I'll drop a link down in the description below to some brushes I recommend. After each grate is clean, let's apply either some olive oil or non-stick cooking spray to our grill brush so that we can lubricate our grates. In order to prevent your food from sticking to the grill, here's some things to keep in mind. Number 1, make sure your grates are clean. Number 2, make sure your grates are lubricated. And number 3, make sure your grill is hot before adding your food. If you do all 3 of these steps, you should significantly reduce the chances of your food sticking to your grill grates. Now that our grill has come back up to temperature, let's go ahead and add our burgers to the grill. As you can see here, I've already added our foil pack. I added the foil pack to the grill right after we finished cleaning and lubing it to give these onions and mushrooms a bit of a head start. So let's go ahead and get all our burgers positioned on the grill. When you're positioning your burgers on the grill, make sure you leave enough room around each burger. Try not to get them so close together and crowd them out. We need to leave enough room so we can get our spatula in here when it's time to flip. And also, try not to mess with the patty once you get it on the grill. Messing with the patty too much right now could lead to the burger sticking or breaking up on you, and that's definitely something you don't want. So we just got our burgers on the grill, and what I want to do now is go into a bit more detail on why I like the 75-25 blend of ground beef when I'm grilling burgers. Now, what I mean by 75-25, that is the ratio or the percentage of meat leanness, which is the first 75, and 25% is the amount of fat in our mixture. Now, in our grocery store, a lot of combinations you may see a 80-20, you may even see like a 93-7, so they're different percentages when it comes to leanness to fat ratio. Now, why I like the 75-25% so is because that 25% fat, I found in my experience, is that is just enough fat so as we grill our burgers and that fat starts to melt, what that's going to do is make sure we keep our burgers nice and moist. You got to be careful if you go too lean, like you go to a 93-7, you don't have as much fat content. So you got to be very careful not to overcook those burgers and dry them out. So if you're having issues when grilling burgers and your burgers are a bit dry, definitely look at some different blends. I know a 80-20 blend is a very popular blend for burgers, but I'd rather have that 75-25 just for the sake of keeping that burger juicy and moist. So again, if you're having issues with your burgers trying out, definitely give that 75-25 blend a try. It's been about 5 minutes since we put our burgers on. Our temperature gauge is showing 420 degrees. Let's go in and check them out to make sure they're cooking evenly. We'll also flip, rotate, and rearrange them as necessary. After flipping our burgers, let's go ahead and use this opportunity to add some additional flavor. I'm gonna put about 1 small to medium-sized hickory chunk directly on the coals on the side of the grill opposite my exhaust stack. Since we've added some hardwood to our grill for additional flavor, let's get the grill closed and keep an eye on the exhaust stack to make sure we're producing a nice clean smoke. As you can see here, we're looking good. The smoke coming out of the exhaust stack isn't thick and white. It's thin with almost a blue color to it. That's what we're looking for. That means our wood is burning nice and clean. So I mentioned this a bit earlier, but one question that I've gotten recently is, how do you prevent your food from sticking to your grill grates when you're grilling? And I gave you some tips earlier, but let's break it down even more. So number one thing, you want to make sure you clean your grates. So get you a nice quality grill brush. You can use one with bristles, without bristles, whatever you want to do, but make sure you have a quality grill brush and you clean those grates. And if you want to know my recommendations on grill brushes, I'll drop some links down in the description below. So that's number one. Number two, lubricate your grates. Okay, so you can either get some olive oil, get some non-stick cooking spray. I like to apply the oil straight to my grill brush, and then I'll use that to lubricate my grate. So that's the second thing you want to do. The third thing, before you put your meat on the grill, make sure you get your grill hot enough, right? Because that hot grill and those hot grates are going to kind of sear that meat, and that's going to make it easier for that meat to release from your grill grates when you go to flip and rotate or do whatever you need to do. So make sure you get your grill hot enough and don't just put your meat on a cold grill. And the last thing, number four, after you put your meat on there, don't fiddle with it, right? Don't mess with it, or it should be over here, let me rotate and do that. No, don't do that, especially when you're grilling these burgers like we're doing with that ground beef. And man, you start fiddling with that stuff too much after you put it on there, it's gonna break up on you, right? And you don't want that. So definitely give those four things a try and let me know how it works out for you. I'd love to hear from you down in the comments below. It's been about 5 minutes since we were last here. The temperature gauge is showing 400 degrees. Let's go in, take a look, and we'll also do some flipping and rotating and rearranging as necessary. At this point, I want to get an internal reading on some of these burgers to see how they're cooking. The safe to eat internal temperature for ground beef is 160 degrees Fahrenheit, so let's see where we are. As you can see, we're not quite there yet, so let's do some rearranging. The right side of the grill is cooking a bit hotter, so let's get some of these burgers rotated in and out of the hot zone. It's been about 5 minutes. Temperature gauge is showing 380 degrees. These burgers should almost be done, so let's go in and check them out. As you can see, most of our burgers are coming in at our target internal temperature. However, we've got a few just below the target temperature, so we'll get those moved around a bit. Now I'm going to head inside to get our cheese so we can get it melted on these burgers. Hold on and we'll be right back. Now let's go in here and get our cheese on our burgers. After a couple of minutes or so, our cheese has melted, so let's get these burgers off the grill. After I get these off the grill, I'll see you inside so that we can sit down with the rest of the family to enjoy this meal. Before we let everybody know that dinner is ready, let's slice up some tomatoes and lettuce, and I also want to show you what's going on inside this foil pack. Let's check out what's going on inside this foil pack. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly how I like these onions. So I think we're ready to go now. Let me go round up the rest of the family and we'll see you at the dinner table. All right, y'all. Burgers are done. We're all plated up now. Got my family on my left and right. Usual suspects to my right. I got Judah and Noah. They already digging in, doing their thing. So let's get into it. I'll show you a view right now of what it looks like. And before I get into it, some of you all been asking about the merch, the t-shirt I'm wearing. I'll give you a close-up of this. This is a new merchandise we just dropped a couple weeks ago. Y'all check it out. If you enjoy grilling like I love grilling, man, check this out for you to express your love for the craft. It really does represent my style of grilling. Old school. I'm not trying to out-fancy nobody, out-trick nobody. I'm just trying to put in work on this grill, man, and serve some flavorful food up to my family. So that's what it's all about. Hold on 1 minute. What's up? You want some more chips? Yeah. Okay, let me get Noah some chips here.
You gonna eat that first.
All right. So we got Noah hooked up. Let's get into it, y'all. I'm going into this burger, man. Telling you, this is what I had a taste for all week. So let's go. Oh yeah. I feel y'all. Don't get me wrong. Frozen burgers are definitely convenient. And I've got some videos on how to cook frozen burgers. But ain't nothing like that ground beef when you seasoning yourself and get those patties just right and put them on that grill. Ooh, that tastes good. Man, I got the onions on here too with that Dale's. That's setting it off. And you remember everything we did to that ground beef. Had the Dub sauce, all our seasonings. Let me get some of these onions, y'all. I don't like my onions too firm with my burgers, man. I like when they're translucent, kind of soft. I love that. So I'm gonna go in one more time and give y'all a view, man. That's that. It's that cross section right there. Let's hit it one more time.
It's so satisfying.
Daddy. Satisfying? Good.
Daddy.
Okay. Daddy, give you some more? Okay, some more chips. Alright. Alright, y'all. This is delicious. We're gonna enjoy our meal together, chit chat with the fam for a little bit, man, see how everybody's day was. So thank y'all so much for stopping by the channel. And y'all get out there on the grill, man. Do y'all some burgers. Follow that recipe the way we did it. You may have to adjust it depending on how many patties you cooking, how much ground beef y'all cooking. But definitely give it a try and let me know what you think down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope this video helped you out. If it did, hit that subscribe button and click that bell so anytime we drop a new video, you'll be the first to know. Hit that like button and leave me some comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you're interested in any of the products we used in today's video, we'll leave some links down below. Hope you have an awesome day, and thanks for watching.